Hi, welcome to the B-Roll Benny channel. I'm B-Roll Benny and I'm absolutely terrified right now to be in front of the camera. Today's video, we're going to discuss handheld shots and how to make them smoother. The first thing that you would want to do is make sure that you have a steady base. When you're filming, take a camera that we have right here, this camera, however you want to hold your camera that makes it steadiest. I find that one to the side where I can control this, but then another one to steady it either underneath or on the grip or on the lens, right? And I push my elbows in and come down, and I can move in and out a little bit with my body, rock back and forth if I want to get a push or a pull. I'm looking right at my monitor because I'm so petrified right now. So you want to push in, push out. The other thing is your base. You want to be knees bent, down, move. You can even see in the camera how smooth that can be, right? If I move side to side, my base doesn't move. The thing that I always think about is I'm carrying a pot of grandma's soup. The soup is all the way to the top of the pot, and I'm carrying it out to the car, and I don't want to spill a drop. That's what I always think about when I'm filming handheld. The second thing seems kind of silly, but your camera selection. If you have a camera right now and it doesn't have IBIS or in-body stabilization, you're gonna have to make do with what you have, right? You're gonna have to do the best that you can. However, if you're in the market for a new camera, I would try to find one that has IBIS, and then if I can afford it, I would try to find one that has active stabilization as well. Which brings us to our next point, active stabilization. This typically only works in a 24 frame per second frame rate. However, it crops your image in by like 10%, and it gives it this additional float in the image that stabilizes it. And it's just a really neat feature. But again, for the most part, it's not going to work in 120 frame. The technology is not there. It probably cooked the camera. The fourth item is slow motion filming. As you can see in this example, the footage is very buttery, it's very smooth. And the reason that is I filmed it in 60 frames and I slowed it to 24 frames a second. And the reason why it makes it look so much smoother is all of the micro jitters that you have when you're filming. Those little tiny shakes when you're filming. Your camera's just shaking a little bit, or you've overextended your arms and the camera's starting to get heavy. Those micro jitters are less noticeable because the footage is slowed down. So the jitter that's really fast now becomes quite a bit slower, and it doesn't look like a jitter. It looks more just smooth. So that's a really, really easy way. Now, all projects can't do slow motion. You can't shoot a movie or a music video in all slow motion, but the B-roll shots that you need to get, you can do a lot of that in slow motion. And I personally have, and I very rarely break my gimbal out. Fifth and final thing is warp stabilization. Now, warp stabilization in post-production, Adobe Premiere, it defaults to 50%. And I don't think I've ever seen a clip that looks good with 50% warp stabilization. So you're gonna wanna go into your clip, add warp stabilizer, go to your effects panel, and you're gonna wanna try it at 10%, but a lot of times I'm backing it all the way down to 5%. Now, here's the thing. You'll be surprised at what 5% can do. As you can see in this clip, there's no warping at the edge of the frame. It looks really, really clean. It looks like it's on a gimbal or a dolly. Summarizing, you're filming posture, select a camera with IBIS if you can, active stabilization, slow motion, warp stabilization. Those 5 things will give you a lot better look and a lot better finish to all of your videos. I hope you learned a little something in these very short tutorials. If you liked it, please drop me a comment. Tell me you liked it. If you want to see me explain something else, drop a comment, let me know. I'd love to see, what you want to learn from me. I do this for a living, and I also freelance on the side. So I'm hoping that I'm able to help someone that was the way I was a few years ago, just thirsty for knowledge. Till next time, thanks a bunch, and I hope you have a great day.